So music was a part of the house all the time. My father could sing. He sang in church a lot. My sister sang. My sister still sings. She's, but she was marching band and choir in high school. My brother isn't a musician or a singer or a rapper, but he was a huge fan. He's a huge fan of music. And so me and my brother are 14 years apart. My sister is 6 years older than me. And my dad is 74. I'm 35. And my mom is, how's my mom? 68. So I had all these different generations of music playing in the house. And my dad is who would play James Brown and Donny Hathaway and Gladys Knight and Stevie and all of these people. And my mom was a big Prince fan, and my brother was a big Michael Jackson fan, but he was a huge hip hop fan. So he had everything, and then all of this R&B music. And my sister was a product of being an adolescent in the 90s during the 90s R&B era. So it was Brandy and Jodeci for her and all of these people, and then it was just me picking up all of this stuff. And so I guess like I was probably like maybe 7 or 8 years old. We were coming home from church, and my dad was singing in the car, my sister was singing in the car, and then I started singing in the car, and they just all looked at me like, "What the fuck is going on with this nigga?" And because nobody knew I could sing, so and I'm like, "Is that good?" And they like, "Yeah," and then they like, okay. And then I went to football practice on Monday and didn't really sing a whole lot in front of people after that. Like I didn't do it. I wasn't in the choir. I didn't play in a band. I still don't really know how to play an instrument like that. Like I just knew that this was something that I had naturally. And so I would sing as a joke in school and in high school, like at the lunch table or whatever. But then we would like, who all hasn't freestyled at the lunch table? Everybody had a freestyle. Everybody had, and we listened to, where I'm from, we listened to a lot of Swisher House and a lot of Screwed Up Click. So everybody was freestyling on those songs and all of that stuff. That was our influence. On top of the other stuff, the Cash Money, the No Limit. I was a big Jay-Z fan, the West Coast stuff, everybody, you know what I mean? So it was just kind of a part of me all the time. But I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I would go and play football, and I would go get on and go to run track and all that stuff. And my dream was to go play in the NFL and go be in the Olympics and go do all of that shit. And then one day I was just like, yeah, just don't feel like doing that no more. So it was tough. Like I had to, a lot of years of watching people that I played against in high school and beat in high school or even lost to in high school that are competing as Olympians or playing in the NFL, guys that I know they got Super Bowl rings and and so it was hard. It was a hard pill to swallow at first because I'm like, man, I could have still been doing that. But then I'm like, well, at least I know Bun B. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So it was different. That was my upbringing, though. Just like, it was always music in the house. I just didn't know how it was going to play a part in my life. Because I used to just play these songs all the time and hear these songs all the time, and I would just learn the words. And I was just doing what I heard on the radio or heard, And the only way I actually kind of knew how to write music was because I was counting. I was like, okay, so whatever that is 4 of those or 8 of those or 12 of those or 16. So I got to do those, and then I got to do like 8 of these, and then I got to, whatever those are. And then I started learning, like, all right, this is the chorus, this is the verse, this is, and then rappers call those bars. And, it was just, it was fun thinking about it, like just figuring it out and teaching myself that kind of stuff. So, So some of the highlights of my career, it's been really cool, man. I opened up a show at South by Southwest for John Legend that he actually chose me to do, which was great. I got to meet John. That was amazing. A year later, I got my first sync license with the same song, and it was played. It was used for a scene in the when they did the 30-year anniversary of She's Gotta Have It, and they did the TV show for Spike Lee, which She's Gotta Have It was one of my favorite shows. I mean, favorite movies, and Spike Lee is one of my favorite directors. So I got to meet Spike Lee. That was amazing. Doing a song with Scarface was great. And the last 3 years, I've been doing the rodeo with Bun B as a background singer, which is always amazing. I mean, 75,000 people in a football stadium watching us do what we do is second to none, really. I don't think there's anything like the rodeo that anyone else has. So those are some really cool highlights. And just like all the people that I've met that have like shown me a lot of love. People like D Nice just, bigging me up every time he sees me. Shout out to Jason Weaver. I just met Jason Weaver a couple weeks ago. He's been really, really, really cool and just like really supportive of what I'm doing. Working with Brian Michael Cox is always a highlight. Just like stuff like that, man. I got a remix with Jagged Edge. I never thought I'd be doing a song with Jagged Edge. The best advice I've ever received, one of them was probably around 2014. I was hanging out with Bun B, and Bun told me, he said, "You know what I like about you? I've seen you perform with this person, with that person. I've seen you go up there by yourself and do your own thing. And every time you perform, you sound exactly like the record that I heard you on. And most people can't do that in this business. So as long as you keep doing that, you'll always be around." So I took that and ran with it. My life looks like a lie to a lot of people. Like if I just tell my friends that don't do this, it just seems like a lie a lot of times. And I'm just like, no, this is what happened. It happened. So, well. What up? It's Jack Freeman, and you are checking out 24/7 HH.